Good afternoon, Mohammed. How did you feel when you regained the World Heavyweight Championship from George Foreman?
Well, Bill, I felt like I always knew I would. I knew I would win it, and I knew I would be happy, so I felt like I knew I was going to feel. I felt real good after getting it back after 10 years of losing it.
Was it easier than what you thought it was going to be?
Yes, it was. I thought George hit much harder than he did. I thought his body attack might hurt as they build it up to be a tough body attack. His body attack really didn't have that much power, and I was surprised that he got as tired as he got hit. I was surprised that he was as easy to hit with a left jab as he was. So it wasn't no trouble.
We saw recently a film of the George Foreman and Frazier fight, and we noticed particularly that when Foreman got Frazier on the ropes, that he missed an awful lot. Did you take any notice of this film when you saw it or anything like that?
Yes, I noticed all his fights. He missed a lot of the fights. A lot of fellows he fought. Ken Norton, King Roman, all his knockouts. If you check his history and look at the films, he threw 30 or 40 punches before one of them landed. And I just figured that I would let him punch him till he get tired. He got tired, and nothing never would land. And this would discourage him after 4 or 5. And he did punch and punch, never land nothing, and got tired trying to find something.
What gave you more satisfaction? Winning the Olympic title, which is after all the amateur world title, or the World Heavyweight Championship?
The biggest thrill was winning the Olympic title in Rome, because I was a world amateur champion, and I was young, and that was my first time in having such honors. By the time I beat Liston and beat Frazier in return and Norton and beat Foreman, those were great victories. But it wasn't the first. I'm kind of used to big nights. But the first big night was that World Olympic thing in Rome. That was the biggest.
Is it true that you copied a lot of your publicity from Gorgeous George, the wrestler?
Yes, I liked the way he talked and said he was the greatest and he's going to annihilate the people and knock them out. And I noticed people just paid innumerable salaries and prices coming to see him, hoping to get beat. But I said, this is a good idea. So I started talking and popping off, and it worked for a while.
Before you come along, I honestly thought that Joe Louis was the best heavyweight champion of the world. Who do you think, apart from yourself, was the greatest heavyweight champion of the world?
Well, I'll say I'm the greatest. It don't have to mean I am. It's like they say, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. The greatest fighter is in the eyes of the beholders, according to who you accept. Some still think Joe was the best. He was a great fighter, but I really can't say what I would have done if I'd fought him. I really can't say who was the greatest of all times. If you say who, if you ask me, I would say I am. I'm sure if you could ask Joe Louis, he would really believe he was. Ezra Charles would believe he was. Joe Walcott's still a healthy man walking around. He's got some say, so he probably believed he was. It's up to the people to judge, and it's up to the individuals to choose who they look at as being the best. I can't say.
When you fought Joe Bugner, did you find him easy or hard boxing?
No, he was kind of hard. He didn't hit hard. He didn't have all the boxing skill. He wasn't strong, but he's hard to hit. He was awkward. He's fast and a good boxer. And I think he'll go a long way, Joe Bugner, with a little more experience and a few more years on his belt.
Henry Cooper. Now, you know when you fought Henry Cooper, he knocked you down. Was that, do you reckon, the hardest punch you've ever taken?
About the hardest I've ever taken. I remember that plainly that night. About the fourth round, I predicted I'd get him in 5, and I stopped him with TKO on cuts. Unfortunately, Henry bled too easy. But that was one of the hardest punches I've had. That's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, but he don't get no ranking because he never won the title. Henry Cooper was a great fighter.
Now, you heard me say about training, what athletes do at training. Can you give some idea on your dedication to training? Because obviously you are dedicated to training. I never really
worry about training until 2 months before an event. Then I go into training. Otherwise, I don't worry too much about training. 2 months before an event is about the best time to really get in shape. And I punch the heavy bags in the gymnasium, what most fighters do, hit the speed bag, jump, rope, run, watch my diet, get my rest. It's a little suffering game, a lot of time, but it's worth it.
Thank you very much, Muhammad.
Okay.